Mike Tyson fights Roy Jones Jr. 8-round exhibition bout. That'll be September 12th. It's at 9 Eastern on pay-per-view. And Triller, which is Triller. Triller also streaming a docuseries showcasing the physical and mental preparation leading up to the fight. Exclusive to Triller under hashtag Frontline Battle. Triller will drop 2 episodes per week, 9 Eastern, a.m. Eastern, every Friday and Saturday. Mike Tyson also kicks off Shark Week on Discovery Channel August 9th at 8 Eastern as he goes head-to-head with one of the ocean's top predators. It's, of course, Tyson versus Jaws. Rumble on the Reef with the famed ring announcer Michael Buffer calling all of the shots. Mike Tyson joining us on the program. When did you start getting the itch to get back into the ring?
Hey, listen, this is really funny. Somebody had asked me, my brother-in-law asked me, he didn't want to ask me because I was adamant about it many times. People asked me, will Mike fight this guy? Will Mike fight this guy for 20 million? Will Mike fight this guy for 50 or 30 million? Whatever it was. And I always said, no, that's what I look like. I want to fight. Come on, give me a break, all right? I'm not fighting. And then one day he asked me, and I said, who do you want me to fight? He said, Bob Sapp. And I said, well, okay, I know Bob Sapp. He's a big, strong guy. But I said, what kind of rules would I have to fight? Can I box him on the Marcus of Queensberry? And he said, 1 minute. He called and he said, yeah, he'll do that. And I said, okay, I'll do it. That's where I started off. And then I started from fighting him. And then I thought, I'm fighting from him. I'm fighting Chuck Liddell. I'm fighting Tito Ortiz now. Now I'm fighting this guy. And then the king, now it's done. I'm fighting Roy Jones now. So that makes sense to you, but it doesn't make sense to me, but it's where I'm at now.
Well, it probably didn't stop where people kept waiting for you to fight somebody because, well, you're supposed to fight somebody. But at your age, are you supposed to be fighting somebody?
I wouldn't fight nobody 10 years ago. At this state of my life, I see I can do it for a better cause, a charity-based cause, and I feel great and I look great, so why not?
Then I heard that you said you could knock out Conor McGregor in the ring, but would you get in the octagon with Conor McGregor? MMA.
I don't think I want to do that, and not because Conor might kick my ass, but just the fact that Conor has the right to step on my feet. And if anybody steps on my feet, I'm tapping out. He doesn't have to.
Wait. So that's the secret to beating you is stepping on your toes?
If he steps on my feet when we get out the ring, it's going to be a problem. then we're going to have to get some police involved. We're going to have to a lawyer involved. We're going to be involved. It's just going to be ugly.
But, Mike, if Peter McNeely had stepped on your feet, he might have been able to beat you?
Absolutely. He did.
How would you fight you? If I said this Mike Tyson was going to fight Mike Tyson 25, how would you do?
It's so, I'm lost for words.
But
how do you fight a guy like that?
But the intelligence, though, of like at your age and being wise, well, maybe you'd be wise and not get in the ring with a 25-year-old Mike Tyson.
No, I probably wouldn't. But he's more. That 25-year-old had morphed into me, and so maybe if he ever understood who I am now, the 25-year-old, maybe he wouldn't want to get in the ring with me.
How often did you see fear when you walked into the ring?
I see fear every day of my life.
But fear from the opposition.
You always feel fear from the opposition. What's the purpose of even fighting if that's not involved?
But their face, when you walk in and you put fear on their face, how often do you think you saw that in an opponent?
I didn't see fear. I saw intimidation. It's a big difference.
What's the difference?
Fear it's an emotion that we receive from God for whatever purpose it is. Intimidation is an emotion that prevents you from performing at the highest point of your ability. And so that's intimidation, to prevent you from reaching your highest goal.
What's the perfect punch feel like when it lands?
It doesn't feel like anything. It feels like you missed.
Really?
Yes.
Because baseball players will talk about hitting a home run, and then it feels like nothing.
Yeah, you don't feel it. You think you missed him. Next thing you know, he's out there sleeping.
Did you ever feel sorry for an opponent?
I wish he didn't get in the situation that he got into or something. I wish he didn't. I just wish something bad didn't happen to him that happened to him. Yeah, I don't like that.
Who was that you're talking about?
I don't know. It's just one guy I hit, and he was down a little bit, and I hit him while he was down, and I just didn't like that. When I saw it, when I was performing it was great, but when I saw it, it gave me bad feelings.
Explain that it says it's an exhibition fight with Roy Jones. What does that mean, an exhibition?
Exhibition means two people are fighting. It's not called a fight.
But it's real.
Pretty much, yeah. We're throwing punches at each other. Dan, you've been in sports your whole life, and not only in boxing, but in sports, even in race car driving, anything. There's always some unwritten law, and the unwritten law is that the possibility you can die during training or the actual game. And listen, and we all know that because race car drivers, basketball players, wrestlers, boxers, we all seen it happen since we were kids. And we want to be in that sport, but we all seen that. Some of us seen it happen to our fathers, and we still want to do it. And that's who we are. And I can't explain why, and don't have me try to and be an idiot. I just don't know why. We're
talking to Mike Tyson. He's going to fight Roy Jones Jr. 8-round exhibition. That'll be September 12th at 9 Eastern pay-per-view and Triller. That your last fight was, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
What do you remember about that?
I remember I didn't really train. I wasn't excited about that fight. It was just, I don't know what it was. It was just a bill-paying, really mundane day at the office.
But it's hard. You were a walking business, and you have to fight, and people want you to fight, and then how many times do you think you got in the ring where you just said, I don't want to do this, or I don't have it?
Well, you do many times, but in this business, look, we're not going to really get hurt. At least we believe we're not going to get hurt, even if we, this is what we do. This is what we know how to do.
When you went for revenge with Larry Holmes, was that Larry Holmes beat Muhammad Ali, and you said you wanted revenge?
Yeah, it was October 2nd, 1980.
And why did it bother you so much?
Because at that time, Cuff had drilled in my head that Muhammad Ali was pretty much a god and was worthy of worship and stuff. And so when I was I was probably 11 years old. I saw Muhammad Ali at Spofford Reformatory, and that's when I wanted to fight.
Yeah, I remember being the ringside, and Ali came in Atlantic City. I don't know if you were fighting Spinks or Frazier.
Maybe Holmes, perhaps.
I don't know, but Ali came in, and the sea parted. There were all these people. It was one of the most incredible entrances I ever saw, and it was just Ali, and all these people started chanting and cheering, and it was really emotional. You probably weren't even in the ring yet, but when he came out, I'll never ever forget that. I got goosebumps thinking about that. When you start, and the science of boxing, and the history of boxing, and I always talk about Ali was so. What I loved about Ali is, these guys now who talk trash, he was doing it saying, I'm going to knock you out in this round. He had a strategy there. There's no showman like him.
Bigger than that, it's really about world domination over yourself.
What do you mean?
It's about conquering yourself and conquering your fears, not really about conquering your opponent.
When did you conquer your fears?
I'm still in that process of doing that. My fears are never conquered. I'm a product of fear. I'm from Brownsville, Brooklyn. And if you don't have fear there and learn how to control it there, you're going to have problems all out of life. You're going to be really up.
How much fun do you want to have with this fight?
Oh, this is going to be, I don't know. My definition of fun is broken eye socket, broken jaw, broken rib.
How often do people come up to you and say that they would want to fight you? Just on the street, when you run into people, because every time you see a champ, you walk up and then champ will get ready, act like he's going to throw a couple punches.
No, I don't have that, but people ask me on occasion, how do I knock out somebody? How do I throw a punch to knock someone out? What do I do if somebody attacks me like this and that? It's ridiculous things that I don't know what to do when they ask me that stuff.
Why don't you do a fantasy camp where you can come in and get punched by Mike Tyson? Like people sign a waiver and they spend $1,000 and they come in to get punched by you.
I don't know, stuff like that is too mundane for me. I like to get right to right there.
You're doing a lot of stuff here. We got Shark Week coming up too. You're involved in Shark Week?
Oh man, listen. The Sharks had me shook, man. Oh God. What am I? Listen, I'm from Brownsville, Brooklyn. What am I doing to host the Sharks, man? Come on. What am I doing? What are they trying to do? Tell me, what are they trying to do? Make me civilized or something?
Yeah, but how did this idea come up that you're going to fight a shark?
Listen, you don't want to hear this.
Yes, I do.
Man, listen, you don't want to hear this. All right, you want to hear this? I don't think I'm saying this to you on national television, but listen. Dana White, UFC president, thought he was doing me a favor. Mike, I don't want you fighting, Mike. Just do a couple of these gigs, and for you, you're going to be straight. Don't worry about fighting. I get these gigs. He care about me fighting Roy Jones, and he wants me to go swim with sharks, but he care about me. Fighting with Roy Jones. Do you understand that? Does that make sense? He's worried about me fighting Roy Jones getting hurt, but he get me a gig swimming with sharks. No, tell me, how does that look? Please. How does that look? I'm like, whoa, God, he cares a lot.
Yeah, I don't think Dana White cares about you that much, Mike, if he's willing to let you fight a shark, right? Like I would fight Roy Jones Jr., and I have no business being in the ring.
And that's what I told my wife. I said, baby, Dana really cares about our family. Wow, he's fighting Roy, he has me fighting sharks. Wow, a friend like that, who needs enemies, right?
Have your kids seen you fight?
Not my younger kid, no.
They're going to see this fight, right?
I want them to. They're going to come with me to the fight, I hope.
And what happened with the possibility of fighting Holyfield?
I don't know. That's on the table, but I guess the people wanted Roy, I guess.
Would you ever come back for real?
Hey, listen, I never thought about that. But listen, this is fun. Let's see how many charities we can help, how many people we can help, and let's see how long I'll be around. Let's see how long I can hold up. This stuff looks pretty good. I feel pretty good. I've been in that spot. Man, I'm just ready. This is awesome, man.
You look good. I mean, you look
so awesome. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, I was complimenting you on looking good. So
people are saying he's too old to do this. He's going to make this. Whatever. Nothing in the world. You asked George Foreman, he said, oh man, if I was Mike and Roy, I wouldn't do this. That's what George said, right? But you asked him when he was on his journey to come back a champion, everything they were saying, they were making fun of him, this is too old. And when you really think about all that's worth accomplishing your goal, being made a fool at, laughed at, it's worth it.
Would you fight Tyson Fury?
It's a possibility. For what charity? Yeah. How many charities we can help? Yeah, I'll fight them. I'll fight anybody for that. It's not really it's not based on money. The money's only based on what we can do with it, pretty much, not on any kind of self-aggrandizement or anything.
When they make the movie on your life, who's going to play you?
I don't know. Give me an idea.
What about so Jamie Foxx?
How about Tom Cruise?
I don't know how good a boxer is, but sure, why not?
I don't know. Hey, it's in the works. We're talking about it. Jamie looks really good for the part. They're talking about using anti-aging with him as well, like they did in Irishman.
Yeah.
We're gonna see what happens. I'm very excited, and it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
How do you think Jamie would do in the ring?
If he's properly taught, I think he'd do well.
How do you think Stallone looked in Rocky? Like, was there a Rocky movie where you thought Stallone looked like he could have held his own in the ring as some kind of contender?
That wasn't based on appearances and all that stuff. Rocky was based on intestinal fortitude, hard work, determination, the desire to overcome adversity. That's what that was based on. So that makes that, next to Raging Bull, the greatest boxing movie in the world. Yeah. Rocky is a conglomerate of fight inspirations. So that's why he supersedes everyone else. But when you talk about the Raging Bull, that's a real person overcoming those odds.
Who do you think looked more realistic, De Niro in the ring or Stallone?
De Niro looked really good. De Niro looked good, and so did Rocky. They both look good. I was both entertained by both of them.
I'd like to see them get in the ring against each other.
They did that, but not for real. But they did that in a movie.
Oh, that's right. That movie wasn't any good. Yeah, you're right. I'd like to see it for real.
No, but listen, know what's so interesting? You can't have people that never really participated in boxing try to do that for real, because it's so easy to get hurt. One little slug in the head, boom, next thing you got a blood clot. What the right? A little pep in the head, you got a blood clot now.
All right, I'd say good luck against Roy Jones Jr., but more importantly, good luck against the Shark, Mike. I'm worried you might lose a limb here.
Man, listen, I can't tell you, man. Listen. With people with friends in my corner, who needs enemies, you know?
You look great. You sound great. I hope you have some fun and you raise some money, and that maybe this is the first of a few for you.
It's going to be so awesome if this thing turns out the way I anticipate it will.
Thank you, Mike. Great to talk to you.
Always nice talking to you, my friend. God bless.
Mike Tyson.